Welcome back, folks. You can see behind me there the Port of Ceuta building. That is because that's where this video takes place. We're in Ceuta on the northern coast of Africa. Even though we're still in Spain and we're still in the EU, I'm going to spend today exploring this city, this exclave, this quirk, and I'm going to bring you along with me. Right then, here's today's geography lesson for you. Ceuta is that peninsula that I've circled for you. As you can see, surrounded by Morocco by land, the Mediterranean by sea, and then mainland Spain across the water, where we got the ferry in our last video. Little plug for that if you've not watched that one yet. Well, the first things you find after getting out of the ferry terminal are massive, like superstores. There's one down there, there's this clothes one here, big supermarket there, and then there's a massive Lidl by there as well. So these fortifications would have protected the old city, which is in there, from any invaders. And interestingly, this channel actually cuts right the way through, which makes this technically an island. So this channel will run from that side of the Mediterranean there, all the way through the other side of the city to the Mediterranean on the other side. Well, just been doing a little bit of history reading in the shade here down by the city fortifications. I'd assumed that Ceuta was quite historic, but I hadn't actually read anything about it. Just simply because of its geographical position. It's obviously going to be really important through history, the same as Gibraltar has been. Ceuta was actually founded in the like 500s BC by the Phoenicians, and then it was controlled by Carthage and then by Rome. In the Roman times, for 400 years, this city had a population of like 10,000, which is massive. So it must have been really integral to their North African colonies. After that, it was ruled by Berbers, and then the Portuguese, and then the Spanish. And the Spanish are still here today. Well, I think this is like the Governor General's house or offices or something like that. It looks grand enough to be, it's in quite a nice spot. They've got a statue outside of what looks like a soldier, some old cannons by there, and the Spanish coat of arms up on the wall. And then opposite this is a really nice looking church. Well, this is like the main road going through the centre of Ceuta. You've got a nice hotel by there. This nice church, I think, by here. Oh, here we go. It shows you the history there. Septem kind of cuts out the fact that the Carthaginians were here first. And then you've got the Berbers there. And then earlier's there. Spanish. And then Monday Ceuta. Well, I'm making an assumption when I say this, but I assume that similar to Gibraltar, most people probably live in apartments here rather than any form of house. Well, I'm just stopping for coffee and to get out the sun for a bit. Well, I've never been served an iced coffee this way before. Guess it had to be a DIY job. Well, I just ordered before I even looked at the menu in there, and I mean, it was only a coffee, so it wasn't going to be too expensive. It was €1.50 for an iced coffee. You wouldn't get that anywhere near that anywhere in the UK. Then this is the main shopping street of the centre of Ceuta. Got some nice big chain brands along here, as well as all the classic stuff like sportswear and phone shops and jewelers and everything else you could possibly imagine. I believe my hotel is somewhere around here. Well, that's where I'm staying by there, the Hostal Central. It's not actually a youth hostel, as the name would suggest. Hostal in Spanish-speaking countries just means like a budget hotel, which is fine by me. Don't need anything particularly fancy. We're going to go for a little wander first though, because I don't think I'm going to be able to check in yet. It's says online check-ins at 2, and it's only 12:30 now, so I'm gonna hedge my bets and wander around for a little bit longer. Yeah, this is what the centre is like. Well, I'm not sure what the story is with this dragon building, but it reminds me of home. Well, this is one of the main squares here, and it doesn't get more Southern European than this. You've got a big arch by there, a massive Catholic church, a lot of cafes with covered seating so you don't sit in the sun all day, and then construction work. Pretty bang on for all of Southern Europe here. Well, I've just taken another seat in another cafe, this time on that main square. Lovely view out over the cathedral there. Nice seating here. It's just simply too hot to wander around in the sun aimlessly, so I'm going to just sit and people watch for a bit. Got another drink on the way, maybe a snack or something too. We're getting up to lunchtime now, so be silly not to. Well, ended up just sitting there and people watching for sort of half hour, 40 minutes. Good place that. I've got free olives, €2 for the soft drink, right by there. Right on the square here. I'm going to take a wander and see if I can check into my hotel now, so I will see you there. Okay, well, this is the room. 2 beds, little chair, little lockbox, not bad. Bathroom looks perfectly okay as well. So look at this shower. That'll do fine. Not sure what the water pressure will be like here, but that'll do. I think I've got a fridge under there too. Yeah, no goodies. That's fine. Quite importantly, an AC. Have we got a view? No, we have not. But that's fine, don't need a view. Not really planning on spending much time here, to be honest, anyway. Just need a little freshen up, and it was good of him to check me in a little bit early, so not bad. Well, one of the most popular spots in Ceuta is behind me, and that is a city centre swimming pool water park. Sadly, didn't bring my trunks because it'd be the perfect day for just lounging around a pool. But really cool that they've got in this in the city centre. There's some bars over there down the back, a few nice big pools, some jacuzzis by the looks of it, loads of sun loungers. Be a great spot to relax, even if it is right next to the big road. But what we're going to do now is we're going to walk just the other side of the city centre here, down this way, and we're gonna go to the beach. Right, and this is what the main beach looks like, just off the city of Ceuta. This is Playa de la Ribera, and it looks fantastic. Again, I wish I had some trunks, because if I did, I would absolutely be going in for a dip. Tempted to anyway, if I'm honest. Look at this though. So all of this in the foreground, round to there, this is all Ceuta, this is all Spanish and EU territory. But if you look further over there to the hills, I might overlay this with a clip from my phone where I can zoom in. That is Morocco. And I think there's a gap about there where there's nothing, and I think that's the border region there. Well, I want to head down there more than anything and have a quick dip in the sea, but I've got trainers on and I've got normal shorts on rather than swimming trunks, so not really ideal. But how refreshing does that look? That's some of the best looking water I've ever seen. Okay, I've just taken a little rest back at the hotel just for like an hour or so, just to cool off this afternoon in the heat. Turns out walking around in sort of 35 degrees Southern Europe takes it out of you if you're making content. There's some lovely architecture around here where the hotel is. So I'm now on the lookout for a taxi, because I'm gonna try and head somewhere that looks really interesting to me, and I want to show you something that you can only really see. Yeah, great. Well, taxi driver didn't speak any English, which was fine, but yeah, not ideal, because he was really confused as to why I wanted to come to the border that you can't actually cross. But this is it. We've just come past the town of Benzu, which is what I showed you driving past, and this is the border between Ceuta, Spain, the EU, and behind there, that's Morocco. I've forgotten the name of the Moroccan town. I probably should have looked that up before starting this. It's crazy. And if you look just over there, you can actually see the Rock of Gibraltar. So you can see 3 countries within 360 by here. Crazy. This right here, this is one of the real tension points in the European migrant crisis, because all that separates Africa and the EU proper, is this border wall, which is why there's police cars down there. There's a tower there as well. What a spot. We're going to be crossing this border tomorrow. Not here, because this border's closed, but the other border from Ceuta to Morocco, we're going to be crossing. I can imagine it's probably a lot more tense going the other direction. The driver then decided to take it upon himself to show me the border in a different part of the town. He wants to show me something. Oh wow.
Morocco.
Yeah, look at this. Ooh. Crazy.
Frontera Benzu.
Yeah.
Hasta la frontera del Tarajal. Perímetro. Es Morocco. Militar Morocco.
Yeah.
La mujer muerta.
Yeah.
Mujer muerta.
Wow. Crazy.
Ahora vamos.
Okay. Fair play to him for bringing me here. I had no idea that this existed. I knew the border went down through the beach, but I didn't know it came all the way up here. I bet tensions run higher here sometimes. He did say that this area by here isn't actually inhabited anymore. It's military run. But I mean, the city's down by there. I don't know the name of the city, but look, the city's just by there. Belyunech, I think, is the name of the city. But yeah, absolutely crazy place.
Okay.
Oh wow. Right. Let's check out the view from here. Oh yeah, wow. Proper bird's eye view of it here. So this in the foreground is Spain. That by there, right by there, is Morocco. You can't even see the border. They're so close from this angle. Crazy. And then these mountains all by here, they're Morocco. And those ones in the distance, they're Spain again. That's mainland Spain, just by there. Well, on the way back into town to drop me off, he said that he could take me somewhere else that would be really interesting to me. But he had to pick up an older gentleman and take him back to his care home. And if I didn't mind waiting in the car, then he would take me. So that's what we did. Wow, the old fellow was 90 years old, and the taxi driver was basically running him around because his mobility was quite bad and he can't get the buses anymore. And as soon as we did that, he carried on basically being my tour guide again and wanted to take me up to another vantage point where you can see over all of Ceuta. Well, he's just brought me up to the top of the mountain here. What an ocean view this is. Ooh. That's the tip there of Ceuta. Ceuta's a peninsula, so there's a tip there. You can see Gibraltar in the distance by there, and then this is the city here. There's a taxi driver there. Oof. Benzu, where we were earlier, that's like over there. Well, you can see there, that's the port where we got the ferry into. We got it from over there, Algeciras, and Gibraltar's over there as well. And then if you can see just in front of those hills by there, that's the other border. That's where we're going tomorrow when we travel to Morocco. What a spot.
Dos polvorines, este y otro más. Pero aquí ahora vas a ver cuando pasemos todas las puertas verdes y están todo el armamento de Ceuta. Luego ahí arriba tienes el faro para los barcos y arriba la fortaleza del Monte Hacho que vamos a...
This is not sponsored in the slightest, but I think the conversation feature on Google Translate is an absolute game changer when it comes to travelling. Well, this is the edge of Ceuta. There's a fort down there, there's a lighthouse by there, and then the cemetery is like just behind there as well. This is the edge of the peninsula here. I'm not allowed to show you what's behind me because it's a big fort and it's still a military base, but I might try and sneak to anyway. Wow. Oof. See? Active military base, still guns and stuff. And then he dropped me back into the centre of Ceuta itself. All in all, I think I was with him for like 90 minutes, I think. Took me to the border, we explored around there. Then we picked up his old fella and then went up to that viewpoint. So yeah, about 90 minutes. Drop a comment, see what you think that would cost in somewhere you were going, because it was considerably cheaper than I thought it would be. And we are back in Ceuta Centre. Didn't notice that statue earlier, or this big white building. Taxi driver, he was class, wasn't he? Really helpful, just so friendly, so helpful. We didn't speak a shared language, but the beauty of translation apps now means that we could have an actual conversation with actually understanding each other. So that was great, so helpful. He was warning me that crossing the border is quite dangerous, but it'll be fine, I'm sure. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. He was just warning me in case I didn't already know, but I did, and that's part of the reason why we're here. He's got a link to the YouTube, so hopefully he'll actually be able to watch this when it comes out, and he'll be able to see himself on YouTube properly. So like I said, back in the centre now. One thing I really need to do is I need to find myself a souvenir. Managed to get one in Gibraltar. I need to get one here now too. I don't know what I'm going to get. I haven't really seen anywhere obvious, but I'm just going to have to keep my eyes out, I think. Bumped into these fellas in the streets in Ceuta. They want to say hello. Hello guys, subscribe to my friend channel. Right. You want to say something nice about Ceuta? Viva Ceuta, Viva Ceuta, Opa Ceuta Segunda. Well, if you're ever in need of a souvenir and you can't find one, go to a tobacconist. They've usually got one. I got a nice Ceuta magnet with their flag, so that's good. Managed to get that. Another one for the collection. The fridge is looking very full at the moment. Well, I ended up having another couple of hours back at the hotel just to recharge, but out now to try and grab some food for dinner. It is 7:30. And I've been warned that apparently restaurants here in Ceuta don't open until like 8:30 or 9 o'clock, which is probably a bit late for me, so I'll probably end up grabbing some fast food if that's the case. I've got a fairly early morning again tomorrow, crossing the border into Morocco, so I'm excited for that and don't really want to be knackered for it. Very busy in Ceuta this evening. Everyone's out and about, doing stuff, meeting friends, all that jazz. Well, I've come up as far as I did in the centre earlier. We're back up to the main square. That's where I grabbed that coffee. Not coffee, this is the square where I grabbed the olives actually. Nowhere is doing food, which is a bit of a shame. There's loads of people everywhere. They're all just drinking coffee or they're on the wine. Nowhere serving food at all. Restaurants don't open until 9, kitchens don't open until 8:30, 9. So I think it's going to be fast food for me, you know. It's a bit of a shame, but I really don't fancy a late night, guys. And I have plenty of proper Moroccan food tomorrow in Morocco, so I'm not too worried from that perspective. So yeah, I'm gonna take a wander. I'll go and get some fast food. Here's that dragon house again. Pretty cool. So yeah, I can carry on walking down the street this way. back to where some of the fast food joints are. Look, we all sort of knew where I'd end up, and it was at the Golden Arches. However, slightly different to ones you're used to. I got it was a double quarter pounder, some little chicken bites that you're probably more used to in KFC, potato wedges, which are a real nice touch, and then they've got some sauces that you don't usually get. So I had Big Mac sauce in a little pot, which, as you can probably all imagine, was absolutely sensational. Bring this in to McDonald's everywhere. Why is it not an option? Right, well, was that the traditional local food ending to today's video that I thought it was going to be? No. Was it a real look at what my day has looked like here? Yes. It is 8:15 now and I'm exhausted. I've got another 2 really busy days left of this trip, and if I'm honest, the thought of staying up until 9 o'clock just to eat before, I mean, all the extra time that goes with that as well, I wouldn't be getting to bed until 11:30, maybe even midnight, and I'll be honest, I just don't have that in me. But yeah, McDonald's was good. I will leave you with this, and that's where this video will end, in the lovely streets of Ceuta. Well, you can catch me next time where we're going to be crossing the border into Morocco. See you next time.